guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamina, and I am an intuitive, spiritual healer, relationship and family life coach. And I am here today to talk to you about the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. If you are new to this channel is all about reconnecting, reestablishing, and rebuilding the family, particularly the African American families. We work together to dig through all those yucky issues, those stigmas and myths and truths about the things that keep the African American individual and family stagnated. We work so that way we can reconnect ourselves to our indigenous practices, to our spirituality, to ourselves, and then eventually back to our families. And so if this sounds like something that's for you, please make sure you click like, share, click the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And let's dig right into what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be talking about the solar plexus. The solar plexus is a chakra that is located in the belly, the abdomen, and it is associated with the element of fire. And instantly I start to think, if you've ever heard of that term, the fire in your belly, that passion, that, oh, there's a fire in my belly about something. That is a saying that stems from this solar plexus energy. It is about passion and self-esteem. It is about creating your life and how you go about doing that. The energy, the fuel that pushes you to do that comes from your solar plexus. How you feel about yourself, how you plan and execute your purpose, how you identify your purpose. All of those things come from that belly energy, that fire in your belly. And so this is such a beautiful energy, because it is really associated with the beauties of things, the inner beauty of things. It's an energy that I work in very, very often. It's very, very close to me. I really appreciate and send a lot of gratitude to this energy, because it's something that I've always had around me and I didn't know what to do with it. And so as I got older and as I began to really get reconnected to my spiritual and indigenous spiritual practices, I began to really appreciate the solar plexus, that belly, that feeling inside of your stomach that lets you know when something is right and when something is not aligning with your life. And because it's so closely aligned to your self-esteem and how you feel about you, a lot of the times you can use your solar plexus, that belly energy, that fire, that feeling in the abdomen, to really guide you through life. And that is what I've learned to do. Normally, when something happens for me, and whether it's good or bad, most of the time it's easier to sense, unfortunately, when things are not aligned with your path. When things are not aligned with me, I get this feeling in my stomach. When I'm supposed to say something and I don't say it, I get this terrible feeling in my stomach. And it's like, it's that thing that says, this is not aligning with your purpose. This is not part of you. This is an invader. This is something that you need to address, something you need to release. And so use your solar plexus as a navigator through life, because it really is so connected to your essence. It's really connected to the you that you may not know yet. And it will give you indicators. It will let you know that this is something that doesn't align with me and you can act on it. It's associated with your digestion. So when your solar plexus is not aligned, you will begin to, in some people, they show signs of being really picky eaters. A lot of the weight that they gain is around their bellies. In relationship, the solar plexus is so important because I think it is the attraction. It is what makes those people who have the it factor so attractive. It is that sense of knowing who you are, why you're here, and what you're meant to do. And it's that comfortable feeling that a person has within themselves that makes you want to watch them, that makes you want to know them, because they seem so grounded and rooted in themselves, whatever that is. They seem grounded and rooted even in the things that they don't know fully, because their nature, the part of them that they're not even aware of, is just so peaceful. Even if they're, we all get angry. So sometimes when I say peaceful, I'm reluctant to say that word, because when we think of peaceful people, sometimes we go to people who never get upset, people who never jump out of character, and that's not true. Peaceful people have a way of being outside of the anger. They just have a way of flowing with the world, and it really meshes with a lot of different types of people. And so that peace and that harmony that is inviting to other people from all walks of life, they're inviting to all different types of people. It's that energy that I'm talking about when I say peace. I'm talking about the peace of being harmonious enough that other people can join you. They can be a part of you easily. And so that's something that in relationships, if you are with someone who has a really healthy solar plexus, you feel really drawn to them. You feel extremely attracted to them. You are motivated by them, pushed by them. Not in a forceful sense, though. It's almost like when I'm around them, they make you feel like doing. They make you feel like producing, and you want to find something. You got to, because you almost want to be, in a sense, deserving, for lack of better words, deserving of their energy. You want to one up. You want to level up. You want to be something that they can be proud of because you're so proud of them. And so it's such a beautiful energy. I really love it. I have been really trying to get comfortable in it, because for so long, when people misunderstand this energy, and even in relationships, if you're with a person who has a weak solar plexus and you are a person who has a healthy solar plexus, there is this sense of you're always trying to be seen. You're always doing something. You need to just basically sit down and calm it down. And that's something that a partner would request. If they're not comfortable, if they're not confident in their solar plexus energy, and you're constantly being you'll feel as if they are telling you to turn yourself down, tune yourself down. And now listen to me clear, because again, all it takes is one person to try to use something positive to justify a negative. I'm not talking about people who are naturally just over the top. And for lack of better words, you know what I'm talking about. Those people who need to be seen. Those people who come from a place of trauma, come from a place of low self-esteem. So they always have to be the center of attention. They always have to say the first word and then the last word. They have to be the one who sucks and draws in the room and be the center of attention. That person is coming from a different place. I'm talking about the person whose natural energy. Naturally, some of us are just, they have that energy. They have that beauty about them. They have that sense of wanting and drawing people in to them. And for many people, it's upsetting. It's like a breath of fresh air when we bump into somebody who just knows how to flow with life, who knows how to take the bumps and the roads, as they come, and doesn't have to shift, doesn't have to change. I call it like becoming a transformer. Someone with a strong solar plexus energy doesn't transform every time things happen. And that's something that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I cannot stand a person who shifts and changes. Some may say two-faced. I can't take the changing in you every time a situation presents itself, because something about that scares me, because I don't know what to expect. I can't root in, and everything about me is very root. I can't root in. I can't settle into you as a person if I don't know who you're going to be at any given moment. And there's a lot of people like that. They are completely moved, completely transformed by a situation. When a certain situation happens, they're the best person in the world. They're the greatest friends. They're the greatest lovers. And then as soon as that situation shifts, you get a completely different person. And you can never call it. You can never call it. And in that, I struggle with that. So the solar plexus energy is something that is stable. It is a stable sense of self. It is that you pretty much remain you no matter what comes to you. You're dealing with it from a you place, not a situation place. You're not altered or moved in a way that your whole character, your whole, your morals and your values are shifted based on who you're around, what you do, or what's presented to you. You pretty much stay consistent. And that's something that I respect about the energy. It is see me, love me, hate me. Either way, you're going to get me. And that's what I love about this energy. So if you were in a relationship with someone and you are insecure, you are a person who shies away from understanding yourself and knowing yourself for whatever the reason is. Again, so many reasons why people don't want to get to know themselves. And the possibilities are endless. Why they don't want to dig up the ground and get into the root of their lives and the root of their family and reconnect themselves with their African indigenous practices, their Native American indigenous practices. There's so many reasons why in our community people don't want to do that. It is safe to stay with the known. It is safe to follow the masses, and it's scary to do the work to be authentic. And so if you are that person who is with someone who is not connected to themselves and they're not really rooted and grounded in their solar plexus energy, you feel attacked. You feel attacked. And you feel that they are trying to change you and that they don't respect who you are. They don't see you. You may be often accused of cheating and being greedy or selfish, in the sense that you know what you want. And that's another thing that I struggle. And I don't know if anybody else can identify with it, but for me, it was really hard for me to accept this energy because I always we were always taught that to want more is bad. To know your worth and to say, I'm not accepting this, is being ungrateful. It's something that you frown upon, because if someone gives you a gift, I always remember, someone gives you a gift, you say thank you. That's this world that we're in. That's what they teach us. Someone gives you something, you say thank you. And if you say no thank you, that is ungrateful. That is, it's the worst thing you could possibly do. And people use it to say so many negative things about a person's character. But the truth of the matter is that every gift is not for me. Although you came from the hopefully the best intentions of your heart, everything you give to me, I cannot receive. And that is something that I'm learning. And it's not a conceited thing. It's not a, greedy thing, a self-centered thing. It is a knowing who I am and protecting my most prized possession, which is my energy source, myself. And I'm not talking about this flesh, I'm talking about my spiritual self. Me protecting myself requires me to be careful what I accept from you. It requires me to be cautious of what I interact in. So if I don't come to every event, if I don't respond to every kind, what you consider a kind gesture, if I don't take everybody up on their offers or their gifts, it's because it doesn't align with me. And it's a bigger thing than just accepting everything somebody gives to you. That's something that we're not taught. We are not taught that as kids. We are taught if someone gives you something, you say thank you and you take it. But what if what you're taking doesn't align with you? What if what you're accepting doesn't make you happy? It doesn't serve you. It actually subtracts from you. So when do we get to a place where we start to filter through the gifts that people want to give us? Because they're giving it to us from wherever they are, from whatever their place is. Hey, I'm giving you my best. I'm giving you this, and you don't want to accept it. I'm offering you this friendship and my hand in friendship. You don't want to accept it. It's a chemistry thing. It's a balance thing. Me accepting your gift might tip me over the edge. It might take me into a place that I don't need to be. And so every gift and every offer does not have to be accepted. And that's something that, for many people watching this video can mean so many things for so many people. When the solar plexus energy is low and you are with your partner, this is something that requires a lot of patience again, because what you're going to experience is that no matter how much you try to pour into this person may never believe that you see them as beautiful and as great as they are. The solar plexus energy is so personal, and it's so it's the gut. It's the pit of your stomach. It's that gut feeling that I know I'm meant to do something. I know that I'm something. Even if we say we have low self-esteem for some of us say it because maybe from the outside we don't look the way we want to look. We don't have that body or the, sometimes it's skin complexion, it's long hair, short hair, muscles, no muscles. There's so many things, but it's all surface stuff. It's all outer stuff. When we feel that, that's one thing. But sometimes in our belly, if we separate ourselves from that superficial stuff, we can begin to say, like, I know I'm a pretty good person. I know that I'm a beautiful person. My inner person. I'm a beautiful person. And I just need help aligning what I know I am on the inside to match who I see on the outside. And so that's where the disconnect comes from. But when your solar plexus is low and you really don't believe that anything you do is good, that you don't produce anything beautiful, that is a really tough place to be in, especially if you're with a partner like that, because you're constantly trying to be the motivator. You're trying to convince them of their beauty. You're trying to reaffirm them. And as soon as you stop, their feeling of love for themselves stop. And so that's those people who believe that other people can make them happy, that love or a situation or a friend can make them feel valuable. And that is not, it's a temporary fix. It is when that person leaves or goes or stops the compliments, you stop loving yourself. You stop believing in yourself. And so that is a very temporary fix. And it is hard to deal with in a relationship because you're going to feel weighed down. It's hard enough to motivate yourself. It's hard enough to live in this life and push yourself every day to get up and to go to work and to produce and to try to be the best you can be for that day. And when you are carrying your weight along with the weight and the belief in someone else as well, you're responsible now for motivating and instilling in someone else something that they really have to find for themselves. Our sense of self-esteem, many people have said it's it's the esteem that you have for yourself. And I get that. I get that. But don't get me wrong. I don't believe that it's a personal journey, that only you can affirm your self-esteem. That is what popular, rhetoric, they'll tell you that. They'll say, no, self-esteem is all about you and only you. But where do we get self-esteem from? Where do we find that love of ourselves? That love of ourselves comes from affirmation from others. And it's just the way of the world. We may not like it. And some people say, no, the way I feel about myself has nothing to do with what others have said to me. It has everything to do with what others have said to you. From the time that you were a child, when you had a pretty bow in your hair and someone said, oh, look at how cute you are. That very moment, from that very first affirmation, you begin to build and build on who you are and formulate who you are in your mind and in your soul. And so that's a misconception that building your self-esteem is a one-man job. It's not. But there is a healthy way, and, like Keith Sweat, there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody. And there's a right and a wrong way to build yourself up. If 75% of the way you feel about yourself comes from what people say to you, comes from affirmations from others, then there's a problem. Again, in this life, I don't seek to be perfect, but I do seek balance. And that is a lesson that I am constantly beating myself in the head about. I do not seek perfection. I seek balance. And if 50% of me needs to be affirmed, the other 50 needs to just come from me knowing what I see in the mirror I like, what I experience in myself I respect. If I respect it, then the other 50% is the evidence and the affirmation. You need evidence, you need affirmation. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be, I'm not the coach that's going to say, believe in yourself and only you can rebuild yourself from the ground up. That is not true. Energy doesn't work that way here on this earth. It doesn't work that way. Flipping it over into a spiritual eye, let's look at this with our spiritual eyes. Self-esteem doesn't work that way. You are not going to be in a lonely box of just you and wake up every day with just you and believe and tell yourself, I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and then go out into the world and never receive any affirmations, any evidence that what you are doing is correct, it's popular, it's beautiful, it's authentic, and still have that belief in yourself. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. You build yourself up, you go out into the world, and the people of this world and this world produces evidence. It produces evidence for you to justify your personal beliefs. It produces evidence for you to believe in your gifts, your talents, and your self-esteem. It affirms your self-esteem, which is why we have to be careful who we hang around. Because if you're building yourself up at home and you're going out into the world and you have really superficial friends and people whose energy level just are just low vibrational people around you, and they're feeding you nothing but doubt, they're feeding you nothing but negative energy, your affirmations and your evidence is weak. And it will never justify your gifts. And you'll always feel less than, because some friends and some family just can't bring themselves to tell you what's good about you, because they, again, don't have that anyone pouring into them, telling them what's good about them. And so you have to be careful, and you have to make sure that the friends around you and everything around you is balanced. And that's going to, now that we're talking about it, it's such a big issue, friendship for me, such a big issue. Such a big topic that I'll probably do another video on friendship, because it's so huge. And it's the keys. Friends are the tools used to get, one of the tools that I believe Spirit used to get us through this life. And they're so important, but they can also be so destructive. And so, again, in the relationship, the solar plexus will blossom you, will light your life up. It will keep you connected to your partner in a sense of true admiration, love, passion, and just totally cloud nine about them. It will keep you crazy about them in a sense, because it's something that you just can't put your finger on it, but you're like, there's something about that person that really just does it for me. Even when they press through hard times, the way they motivate themselves through those hard times, the way they get through the trials and tribulations is so attractive to me. That's that solar plexus energy. So it's not just when things go good, it's when things go bad too. Because again, knowing your purpose and being able to defend your purpose, that passion in you is what defends your purpose. It'll push you and make you push through the hard times to get back to that place that you know you belong. That is attractive. That's attractive. Don't show me how you go through life when the sun is shining. I want to see how you go through life when the world is on your back, when they're kicking your back in, when you're public enemy number one. How do you get through it? How do you do the comeback? Show me that. Don't show me what you do when you're angry and somebody got you heated and you did something out of the heat of the moment. I'm not really interested in that too much, because we all go there. That's our shadow side. We all live there. However, show me what you do after that. How do you get out of it? Because one of the biggest downfalls of the solar plexus, one of the biggest pitfalls that is associated with the solar plexus, is the polar opposite of passion. It's the polar opposite of belief in yourself and faith in yourself and self-esteem, and that is shame. Shame is the number one killer of so many of our people, our ideas, our sense of self, our families. Shame. And that is the result of a low performing solar plexus. There is a huge amount of shame. And that shame came from negative affirmations. It came from negative evidence about yourself. It came from a distorted view of yourself. And so on the flip side of the solar plexus is shame. And if you are with someone and you're trying to be in relationships and you have a ton of shame surrounded by you, you're either going to be a person who never really likes to dig deep into issues. So when there's problems in the relationship and this person wants to tell you what they feel and they want to know what you feel, you're not able to produce. You kind of shy away from those conversations. You're touch and go. Why? Because shame is so easy. It's like a weed in a garden. You can dig it right up and pull it up from the root really easily. It shows itself. It's not something that hides easily. So if a person is encaged by shame, you're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You can choose to ignore it, or you can confront them about it. You can ask them, where does this come from? Why? Or you can play along with them. And most of the time, many people choose to just play along with it. One of the great ways that we talked about before on how to heal um, someone with an imbalanced solar plexus is, if you are in a relationship with them, the best way to heal them and to try to help them is, again, positive affirmations. When you see something good about them, when you see something positive that they're doing, let them know it. Don't abuse it. Don't give them an A+ for everything if it's not deserving. Be authentic with it. Be sincere about it, but recognize their inner beauty when it shows itself, and they will begin to connect to that. Again, like I said, don't abuse it. Don't say everything's beautiful when it's not. Don't tell them that they're doing the right thing when they're doing the wrong thing. Correct them when correction is needed, and empower them when you see that that's also needed. But let them know the beauty within that you notice, not just the exterior, but the interior. When you see a decision that was made or a feeling that they give you without even saying anything to you, let them know that they are radiating that type of frequency so that they can believe in that energy. They can believe that it existed within them. That's one of the best, ways I can tell you. Also, when you're dealing with someone in this situation with a low, vibrating solar plexus, you may have to step back sometimes. And you may have to be very, very careful how you love on them and how you interact with them, because you don't want to get out of balance. Your affirmations, your positive reinforcement is 50%. The other 50 is what they need to do on their own. It's what they need to self-discover. And a part of doing the work on your own, if you are the person with a low vibrating solar plexus, is that, again, surround yourself by the energy that governs it. Fire. If you don't have a fireplace, light some candles. I found something at Five Below. If you know that store, if you have a Five Below near you, I found this right here, and this is absolutely wonderful. It's a cute way that they placed all of the chakras and incense for all of the chakras. So you can actually, you don't have to go searching around. When I give you the incense in the video, sometimes I'll let you know what incense to burn to kind of build up your chakra levels and to assist you in rebuilding and healing damaged chakras. This is perfect. It's perfect. And so they have them all here: root chakra, sacral, and the solar plexus. And my very, very favorite, which is one of my favorite essential oils ever, is lavender. Lavender and rosemary are my very favorite. And so those can be very helpful to nurturing your solar plexus. So again, it's this, and you can find this at Five Below, only $5. These are excellent gifts for Kwanzaa, for if you celebrate Christmas or the holidays coming up. Just little gifts to just give out on a regular basis to people that are really starting to discover their inner spirituality. They are really looking for ways to heal their inner souls, their inner selves, and they're on that inner spiritual journey. Love it, love it. Affordable and very, very, very useful, very, very helpful. And so this again is at Five Below, $5. So I hope this video was helpful in a sense to get you to understand the complexities and the beauty of the solar plexus. For those of you who follow Ifa and some of the other African spiritual traditions, it is no surprise that this color is represented by the African power of Oshun, the beauty of love and self-love, self-confidence and femininity and sensuality. It is about knowing yourself, standing your ground, defending your purpose, knowing when and how to draw in and release certain energies. And so it's just a very beautiful energy. Many women are attracted to that energy of Oshun, and it is a spiritual energy that is really, really, really useful. It can be very useful in relationships, in law of attraction. And so building that solar plexus, you'll begin to see things just come to you, whether it is work related, business, work related, business related, personal, family, relationship, that solar plexus energy is gravitating. It is, electrifying, and it is very warm. It is very warm. It's like, again, this color of the sun that we see when we look at the sun, and we associate it with that really yellow golden color. That is what we get. It is a source sustaining energy, very similar to the sun, that you can live off of it. It can heal, it can grow, everything that's around it. And that's truly the essence of the energy. So it's worth working on. If you notice that you're a person that people just don't like to be around, and people just don't identify with very often, you don't keep friendships long, you don't keep relationships long, family, you're kind, you feel almost like the black sheep, then your solar plexus, you need to work on it. Because without even speaking, without even saying anything, you will begin to draw in money. You will begin to draw in family and close and authentic friendships and relationships. And that's something that money can't buy. So I wish you all well, and I hope that this message helps somebody. Until next time, continue to give this life the best go at it that you can. Build up those energies and give yourself a fighting chance. Bye.